Hello and welcome. If you're watching this video, it tells me something important about you. You care about your health. You care about staying strong, clear-minded, and independent as the years go by. And that already puts you ahead of the curve. Today, we're going to talk about something many people over 55 are never clearly told. Common foods that silently damage aging bodies, even though they've been considered normal or even healthy for years. And just as importantly, I'll show you what to eat instead. Not extreme diets, not expensive supplements, and not unrealistic rules. Just practical, realistic food choices that actually support your body as it ages. This is not about fear. This is not about blame. And this is definitely not about perfection. It's about understanding how your body changes with age and giving it the support it truly needs now. So take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's walk through this together. Silent culprit: processed meats. Let's talk about a food group many people rely on for quick, easy meals: processed meats. This includes foods like bacon, sausages, hot dogs, deli meats, and packaged cold cuts. For years, these foods were considered normal, even practical, especially for sandwiches and simple meals. But for aging bodies, processed meats can quietly create several problems. One of the biggest concerns is chronic inflammation. Processed meats often contain preservatives like nitrates and nitrites, along with very high levels of sodium. Over time, these compounds can increase inflammation throughout the body. For older adults, that inflammation may show up as worsening joint pain, stiffness in the knees, hips, or hands, slower healing after illness or injury. Another issue is heart and blood vessel health. High sodium intake raises blood pressure, putting extra strain on the heart. Large studies have consistently linked frequent processed meat consumption with a higher risk of heart disease and stroke, especially as we age. There's also growing evidence that chronic inflammation and reduced blood flow can affect brain health. While no single food causes memory loss, long-term eating patterns do matter. Why this is confusing for seniors. Here's what makes this tricky. Processed meats are often marketed as a good source of protein, and protein is important as we age. It helps preserve muscle, strength, and balance. But the problem isn't protein itself. The problem is how processed these meats are. When protein comes packaged with preservatives, excess salt, and inflammatory compounds, the long-term cost can outweigh the benefit. What to eat instead? Cleaner protein sources. The goal is not to eliminate protein. It's to choose cleaner, less processed sources. Healthier alternatives include fresh chicken or turkey, fish, eggs, beans and lentils, and tofu. These foods provide protein without the heavy burden of preservatives and excess sodium. Fish deserves special attention here. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel contain omega-3 fats, which help reduce inflammation and support heart and brain health. Even eating fish once or twice a week can make a noticeable difference over time. Here's a simple rule that works in real life. If the meat comes pre-sliced, heavily packaged, and lasts weeks in the refrigerator, it's best eaten occasionally, not daily. Silent culprit 3. Sugary drinks and liquid sugar. Now let's talk about something many people don't even think of as food: what we drink. Sugary beverages are one of the fastest ways to overwhelm an aging body with sugar. This includes soda, sweet tea, flavored coffee drinks, energy drinks, and even many fruit juices. The problem with liquid sugar is how quickly it's absorbed. There's no fiber to slow it down. Blood sugar rises sharply, then crashes, leaving you tired, foggy, and often hungry again. Over time, this pattern can contribute to insulin resistance, increased belly fat, fatty liver disease, and higher risk of heart problems. Many older adults are surprised to learn that fruit juice, even when labeled natural, can contain as much sugar as soda. Whole fruit is different. Juice removes most of the fiber and concentrates the sugar. Another issue is fullness. Sugary drinks don't make you feel full. You can drink hundreds of calories and still feel hungry, which can lead to overeating later in the day. What to drink instead? Gentle, supportive options. The foundation is still plain water. If water feels boring, you can add lemon or lime, add cucumber slices, add berries, or mix in unsweetened herbal tea. Unsweetened tea, green, black, or herbal, can be an excellent choice. Many teas contain antioxidants that support heart and brain health without raising blood sugar. If you enjoy juice, treat it as an occasional small serving, or dilute it with water to reduce the sugar load. Many people who reduce sugary drinks notice better energy, improved digestion, and fewer afternoon crashes, often within just a few weeks. Silent culprit. Point 4. Fried foods and highly processed cooking oils. Now let's talk about foods many people enjoy but rarely think about in terms of long-term impact. Fried foods and highly processed cooking oils. This includes French fries, fried chicken, fast food, packaged snack foods, and foods cooked in cheap vegetable oils like corn oil, soybean oil, or canola oil, especially when those oils are reused or overheated. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to oxidative stress and inflammation. When oils are heavily refined or repeatedly heated, they can form compounds that quietly promote inflammation inside the body. Over time, this inflammation may contribute to joint pain and stiffness, stiffer arteries, digestive discomfort, and slower recovery after illness or injury. Another issue is nutrient crowding. Fried foods are very calorie-dense but low in nutrients. They provide a lot of energy without much nourishment. For older adults who may already eat smaller portions, this can crowd out foods that actually support muscle, bone, and brain health. There's also the impact on the heart. Diets high in fried foods have been linked to higher levels of bad LDL cholesterol and an increased risk of heart disease, something we naturally become more vulnerable to with age. What to eat instead? Better cooking methods and fats. This doesn't mean you have to give up flavor or enjoyment. A better approach is to change how food is prepared and which fats are used. Instead of frying, try baking, roasting, steaming, or light sautéing. These methods preserve nutrients while reducing harmful compounds. When it comes to oils, choose more stable, less processed options. Olive oil, avocado oil. These fats are easier on the heart and less likely to trigger inflammation when used properly. Many people notice that when they reduce fried foods, they feel lighter, experience less digestive discomfort, and move more easily, especially in the knees and hips. Silent culprit. Point 5. Excess added sugar in healthy foods. Now here's one that surprises many people. Even foods labeled as healthy can quietly damage aging bodies if they contain too much added sugar. This includes flavored yogurts, breakfast cereals, granola bars, protein bars, low-fat snacks, and many salad dressings and sauces. Added sugar hides under many names: corn syrup, cane sugar, fructose, maltose, and it adds up quickly. For older adults, excess sugar can increase inflammation, accelerate muscle loss, weaken immune response, and disrupt gut health. There's also growing research linking long-term high sugar intake to faster cognitive decline, especially when blood sugar control is already weakened. What makes this tricky is that many of these foods don't taste very sweet, so the sugar goes unnoticed. What to eat instead? Reducing hidden sugar. A helpful habit is to read ingredient lists, not just the front label. Shorter ingredient lists usually mean fewer hidden additives. For example, choose plain yogurt and add fresh fruit instead of buying flavored varieties. Choose unsweetened cereals or oatmeal and add berries or nuts. Use olive oil and vinegar instead of sugary dressings. For snacks, whole foods work beautifully. Nuts, seeds, fruit, lightly sweetened options you control. Small changes here can lead to more stable energy, better digestion, and fewer sugar crashes. Silent culprit. Point 6. Too many ultra-convenience meals. Now let's talk about something very understandable, especially later in life: relying heavily on ultra-convenience meals. This includes frozen dinners, instant noodles, boxed meals, and ready-to-eat packaged foods. These products are designed to save time and effort. For many older adults, especially those living alone or dealing with low energy, they feel like a practical solution. But here's the quiet problem. Most ultra-processed meals are high in sodium, high in refined carbohydrates, high in unhealthy fats, low in fiber, and low in quality protein. As aging bodies process food less efficiently, this imbalance can show up as bloating, water retention, rising blood pressure, constipation, and feeling weak despite eating regularly. Excess sodium is especially concerning. Many people consume far more salt than recommended without realizing it because it's hidden in packaged foods. Transition towards fiber and overall eating pattern. Convenience itself isn't the enemy. The goal is smarter convenience, foods that support your body instead of quietly draining it. And there's one essential nutrient that ties all of this together, one that many older adults don't get enough of. That nutrient is fiber, and that's what we'll talk about next. Silent culprit, point 7, not enough fiber-rich foods. Now let's talk about something that often causes problems, not because we eat too much of it, but because we eat too little of it. That nutrient is fiber. Fiber plays a powerful role in digestion, blood sugar control, heart health, immune function, and even brain health. Yet many older adults consume far less fiber than their bodies need. Low fiber intake can quietly lead to constipation, blood sugar swings, higher cholesterol, and poor gut health. Over time, this can increase inflammation and reduce the body's ability to absorb nutrients efficiently. As we age, the gut becomes more sensitive, which means fiber becomes more important, not less. What fiber does inside the aging body? Fiber does several important things at once. First, it helps food move through the digestive system smoothly, reducing constipation and bloating. Second, it slows the absorption of sugar, helping stabilize blood sugar levels and protect the heart. Third, and this is especially important, fiber feeds beneficial gut bacteria. These bacteria help support immune strength, reduced inflammation, better nutrient absorption, and even mood and memory. In many ways, fiber helps create a healthier internal environment for the entire body. Best sources of fiber for older adults. The best fiber comes from whole, plant-based foods such as vegetables, fruits, beans and lentils, whole grains, nuts and seeds. The key is to increase fiber gradually. If your body isn't used to fiber, sudden large increases can cause discomfort, but slow, steady changes allow the digestive system to adapt. Adding just one extra serving of vegetables or fruit per day can already make a noticeable difference. How to eat for strength, energy, and independence. By now, you may be realizing something important. This isn't about eating perfectly. It's about eating more intentionally as your body changes. Aging bodies need foods that support steady blood sugar, strong muscles, flexible joints, and a clear mind. And the most powerful changes are often the simplest ones. A supportive daily eating pattern usually includes quality protein at each meal to protect muscles, fiber-rich foods to support digestion and heart health, healthy fats to reduce inflammation and support the brain, and minimal processing so your body spends less energy just coping with food. Visualizing a supportive plate. Imagine a plate that feels familiar, not restrictive. Half the plate filled with vegetables, a portion of protein you enjoy, a source of whole grains or beans, and a small amount of healthy fat for flavor and satisfaction. This way of eating allows room for enjoyment, traditions, and flexibility while still protecting your long-term health. Listening to your body's signals. One of the most empowering things you can do is pay attention to how food makes you feel. Do you notice more energy, better digestion, less stiffness, clearer thinking? These are real signals from your body when it's being supported. And remember, it's never too late to benefit from better nourishment. Studies consistently show that even small improvements in diet can lead to better strength, mobility, and quality of life well into older age. Gentle closing and encouragement. You don't need to change everything at once. Start with one small shift. Swap refined bread for whole grain.
Replace processed meat with fresh protein. Replace mercury with ambient station. Choose water or tea instead of sugary drinks. Add 1 extra serving of vegetables per day. These changes compound over time. Your body has carried you through decades of life. With the right support, it can continue to serve you well for many years to come. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found this helpful, take a moment to like the video, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe for more trusted guidance on aging well.